This morning I'm going to read Psalms 18, 1 through 10 to be our morning devotion. The Lord is my rock and my fortress, my deliverer, my God, my strength in whom I will trust, my buckler, the horn of my salvation, my high tower. I will call upon the Lord, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from my enemies. The sorrows of death compassed me. The floods of ungodly men made me afraid. The sorrows of hell compassed me about. The snares of death prevented me. In my distress I called upon the Lord. I cried unto my God. He heard my voice out of the temple, and my cry came before him, even into his ears. The earth shook and trembled. The foundations also of the hills moved, were shaken, because he has wrought. There went up a smoke out of his nostrils, the fire of his mouth devoured, coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens, also came down, and darkness was under his feet. And he rode upon the cherub, and did fly. Yea, he did fly upon the wings of the wind. We look at this psalm very, very carefully. And look about each verse and seeing what God is trying to show us. And the psalmist here is writing and says, the Lord is my strength. The strength that we can get. The Lord is my rock, the foundation of our faith in which we depend on. The rock, the fortress, our protection, our deliverer out of our salvation. God is our salvation from sin, from bondage, whatever you're going through, what you are facing, knowing that God can help you. He is worthy to be praised, honor, and glory. You know, it says, those sorrows of death compass me. There's many ungodly men that makes us afraid, that does evil in this world. You see it even today. Many are trying to prevent them to doing what is right, or standing up for what is right, but God is with us. He cries out to God. And this is almost similar to a reference to the rapture. The earth shook and trembled, the foundation of the hill was moved, were shaken because of his wrath. And in the smoke of his nostrils, the fire devoured the coals. And it talks about God's judgment upon those who are wicked. And there's a time of judgment that will come on this earth during the tribulation. God will judge those who are wicked. And this is a very interesting verse in verse 10. And let's read verse 9 first. He bowed his heavens also, and he came down, and darkness went under his feet. And this verse 10 says, he rode upon the cherub, and did fly. And he flied upon the wings of the wind. Now, if you look at Elijah, he was almost, they say when he went up to heaven, he was raptured up into heaven. He was in the wings of the wind. It was a great fire, and was taken up to heaven. And it's supposed to talk about a rescue. See, and we'll look at tomorrow more of the other chapter. Verse 11 says, he made the darkness a secret place, spewing round about where dark waters, thick clouds in the sky. And the brightness was before him like a thick clouds, passes hailstones and coals of fire. It's almost a description of Christ himself in his coming. And you see that God's judgment on the earth and judge the wicked. And the assurance of the promise of God and his judgment and his faithfulness in every day of our life. We'll continue to look on the next 3, 4, or 5 days on this passage. And may it be a blessing and encouragement to you, no matter what you're going through in this life. You're blessed and encouraged by knowing that God is with you every step of the way. And God is our rock, God is our fortress, a very present help in time of trouble. So cry unto him, pray unto him, and see what God has for you. And may you be blessed and encouraged. You have a wonderful day.